How can students become more engaged in the classroom? This question comes from experience and frustration. The school issues curriculum, usually Edmentum products, to which students yawn and find way too difficult. The problem with Edmentum or Savas products is that they are designed to be universal, which makes them bland. The students have never said, hey, let's hop on Study Island. Their feedback in response to an inquiry regarding mathematical engagement is that the content does not seem to be real-world related. Usually their math experience has been a teacher using a slideshow and hand them a packet. There has to be a way to create content that engages students within a context so that the learning experience isn't bland. Using installed content will be hard, or creating content will be hard. Either direction will be hard. You must choose your hard. The students would need media that would diversify the learning experience. Padlet, Canvas, discussion boards with Discord and maybe other communication medias would enhance their communication beyond the classroom walls. They speak about their success on Study Island or earn badges on IXL. And not very inspiring. However, I've learned from the course that creativity and play are the ways students engage and build strong connections. A professor once answered the question, why do you always have us complete a 5-page paper? He stated, how else are you going to get a student to think on something for 4 hours? This class has taught me another way to think critically. Creating visual aid content assists in building connections because the creative process demands constant attention to details, which stems from the learned content. Students naturally want to share their creativity. It's ingrained in our nature. Otherwise, progression would be a pointless endeavor. The 21st century student needs projects that challenge them to think for several hours, immerse them in creativity, and allow them to take pride in their creation through collaboration and effective communication. Embracing this kind of education style, however, means adopting a more demanding path. Facilitating the projects, absolutely time-consuming. I used to think that there was some magic involved with the ISTE or the ISTE standards or the ISTE product that's out there for teachers right now involving technology. The recipe was simple. Sprinkle in some technology into a soup of math problems and presto! Students have an engaging medium to learn math. That recipe is one of disaster because it will cause students to be stuck in a substituted entree of education. Teachers need to advance through the SAMR framework. Teaching with only substitution technology may seem easy at first glance, but the difficulty comes when much effort to prepare students become moot because rote education is practiced, or the content just does not engage students productively. A classroom without technology means many hours spent grading, providing handwritten feedback. It takes hours or days for them to even see that feedback, and by then, progress is already lost. It is hard, and students will most likely struggle in the real world because many jobs require the use of technology. Creating digital content in the classroom that augments, modifies, and even reaches a redefinition of how projects functions. It's hard. Implementing technology, learning about it with students is hard. As a teacher, choose your hard. One of the outlets will lead to a catastrophic education while the other leads to conscious education. One of those prepares students to have a hard time after school, while the other leads to hard times in school. Choose your hard and choose them wisely. Technology for math class is a must. Rene Descartes thought that math needed more organization, so he created the Cartesian plane, which would behave like a visual calculator. It was the technology, as it is technology, It's a systematic treatment. In fact, the word technology comes from the Greek word technologia. In fact, Jesus was referred to as tektonos, a carpenter. Technology is a tool or concept that helps the user create. Math is a universal language that requires technology to solve more complex problems. Algebra and pre-algebra students would need technology that would allow them to engage, enhance, and extend their learning. Virtual projects like WebQuests engage students because of its appeal to be adventurous. Their learning experience is enhanced via their creation. The natural consequence of sharing discussion improvements extends their learning because many more life skills are involved in the process of creating a masterpiece. We are still living in an era where many teachers are resisting technology in the classroom because of the distractions it could cause. Administrators selecting and making decisions about digital content think that they are checking some box for implementing technology in the classroom. Greater need is teaching educators how to bring out or elicit the engagement in the classroom to such an extent that distractions become a learning experience. Creativity, playing, and communicating through the use of diverse tools are the media in which students engage. I have already started the process of obtaining creation programs in the classroom. I have interviewed the superintendent. He stated to draft a proposal. From what I understand, that means he is interested and would invest time to investigate the implementation process further if the proposal conveys a level of necessity and effectiveness. The goal is to use Padlet with other classrooms around the United States. I plan to network with math teachers to obtain more collaborative efforts. It'll be quite the journey, but I have chosen my hard.